Howdy folks, WindyCityThetanWatch here. It is Wednesday, June 26th. Hello little potato, how are you today? Today, Wednesday, I do want to kind of talk about something. Excellent to hear, potato. Let me get past these buses. We're in the underpass underneath the Congress Expressway or Ida B. Wells. Howdy Cubs, thanks so much. So I don't have a lot of time today. We're going to head over there. We're going to get those blinds shut. We'll see if we can disrupt the body routers really quick. And then I got to head out. I do plan on being on the other channel. I planned something with my friends. And this evening, we're going to do a little bit of the Brown Line stops on Chicago's elevated system over on Windy Wanders. Hello, Queen Suki. Howdy, Fuzzy Pink. One thing I kind of want to talk about real quick is that there's been some chatter and comments in the Chicagoland area, and yeah, great, love it, fun drama, sells tickets and everything. I'm here to protest Scientology. I will say that my name wasn't directly used, but my name was referenced in one of the posts, and it was talking about the safety of victims. And my hope is you've all been here long enough to have seen my character and the content of what I'm portraying. Am I trying to stay out of the fray of all of this? I do stand for victims, 100%. I believe in the safety of victims in this space. So my hope is that my character stands for itself in regards to what's going on there. And I'm not even going to say that, again, my name was not there, but there was a veiled reference towards me. So, all right, we are at Wells Street and Harrison, coming up on the org. It's a warm day out. We get a nice day tomorrow. It's like mid-70s tomorrow, but today is definitely hotter as we come in here. Let me turn you around as we walk down Harrison. Oops. Hello, camera. Let's turn the camera around. All right. Got the stock exchange over here. Oh, remember my favorite mural. Chicago Stock Exchange, train station. We're going to walk underneath the train tracks here. We'll look down the alley, and then we'll head over to the front of the org. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. I want to continue my plea to as many people as possible. Come out and protest. I'll help you. If you want to know when I'm going to be out here, send me your email address and let me know that you're interested in that. And I can let you know by email on days that I'll be out here. If you have specific questions about this, great. I can help you with that, I think. I'm a little bit hesitant to go to organization. I don't want it to be a team thing. I don't want it to look like we've got any tight association. But if you're looking for advice, I can try and help with that. Any modern phone that you have will work, whether you want to stream or whether you just want to record for your own safety. Thank you, Annette. I appreciate that. And I do appreciate everybody who, this is the do what you can era. So if you can chat and participate in the chat, I love it. But if you're at work and you've got to pay attention, it's a little bit interesting. We've got a crane, so I think they're going to either heighten or lower there's a red crane on the building, so that gets attached to the building. And then you've got the crane in the street, which usually that's part of assembling and disassembling that crane structure that's attached to the building. If you can participate in chat, it's great. Everybody gets along, all of that. It shows YouTube that it's an engaging channel. But if you just got me in the background, great. We're getting advertising dollars out of it. No, you're good. We're making Scientology pay for that. I'm just going to walk down the alley a little bit here. Neither of these two cars were Scientology. Hello, it's really me. There is no activity back here by the door, so we'll go around front. If you can come out and be on the streets, be on the streets. I'm a huge fan of Cubs, right? MD Media is out all the time. Eric Rader is out all of the time. Their persistence to be out there and frustrate Scientology is incredible. Now, if all you can do is watch us and like us and comment on us, that still matters. It shows the universe that there are people that care about this. There are people that want to stand up and say no in this space. Howdy, Aaron. Thanks for stopping by. We're just going to go close those windows real quick. Great seeing you. Were you able to look at the information? Were you able to look at that information?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the woman yesterday. Monday. So her and her two kids were in there the other day. Right, as they came out, she kind of pleaded that, hey, I'm not really in Scientology. I'm learning it. I gave her the Xenu.net and my business card that has some of the crimes of Scientology. Right? I'm going to say that she was not swayed by it. She chose to come back. I assume that she's coming back from the org again today. It's a little bit painful. I wish that people really would take to heart what these ex-Scientologists and second gens, right? So now we've got Jessica in there, and another child was in there, another 12-year-old child in there. As we look down here, right, absolutely empty. Nobody in there. So $100 million organization, nobody here. The desk is not being manned, but we've got Jessica there at the desk. This child is signing something. He's putting his name down on something. That kid's what, 12 years old? Nobody over here in the cafe area. Wow, the org is really empty right now. Now, I think when there is somebody at the desk, they try to ignore me because they don't want the person at the desk to understand that, hey, we've got to hide. So here she comes. She's got to hide. I'm going to wave to her. Just be friendly. So we got the $100 million building has to close their blinds, close up the retail storefront. I just saw somebody walk in. They were a public. No idea what they were doing today. Hey, Aaron, I saw you out there today in, one of those Florida cities. Okay, you can see the taller, thin male. We've got Jessica now going to come to help tag team. So Jessica is also an employee at Dream Exchange. Dream Exchange being the organization that Joe Cicala Jr. Is the founder of. Many of the people in this organization. So I don't know if this woman in the burgundy or the brown is public or not, but they're failing on blind tech. They can't get the blinds down. You're fine. I do like this, the idea that, hey, if you're going to do something in Scientology, do it right? But they can't. This is the broken door in Austin, right? This is the idea that Scientology just can't get out of their own way. So they can't even hide from the public correctly. Now, again, Joe Cicala Jr., the founder of Dream Exchange, is also the father of the Day Org executive director at this location. All 5 of Joe Cicala's kids are members of this church. They are on staff here, and they are employed by Dream Exchange. So this is our cult of Scientology. They've got to hide from the public over here. The 3 family members all smiled at me when I said that. So we definitely haven't closed up. She is a college student that just walked by. Yeah, I'll say, Emma, they didn't do well with the blinds today. I do want to see if any of those kids come back out. Now, one of them went in really late, close to when I was here. So we've got that. Just a reminder to some of the people that might be in the chat right now, I'm a never end. This church has never done anything to personally damage me. I first became aware of Scientology back in the 80s when the Dianetics books were on, infomercials all night long. It was interesting, never really bought the book, never cared about it. I have since received the book and I read it. It's common sense, right? Self-help book, if we talk about it. But about 1.5 years ago, somehow Aaron's feed came into my feed, and I started seeing some of these crimes that the second gens, and when we say second gens, any ex-Scientologist, whether you were born into it or whether you joined it, if you've escaped, you typically have some horrific stories to tell. Now, some people were fortunate; they were almost unaffected by the org. But when I was hearing the Serge Delmar stories, you know, Aaron having Aaron's grandparents, well, the kid's grandparents having to choose between family A or family B because you can't be part of both your families. So the family disconnection. I started hearing about the Chase Wave, right? You've got Operation Snow White, the Lisa McPherson Trust, or Lisa McPherson episode where, you know, she died at their hands. To say that Scientology killed her might be a little bit over dramatic, but they definitely expedited her leaving the planet. Yeah. When I was younger, I just thought it was a goofy space fantasy, you know, space opera fantasy. And then as I started learning about these crimes, it was like, well, you know what? I can go stand up against that. And my hope is that I'm giving honor to those people that have escaped and have had trauma based upon what this church has done to them. And I want to lend my voice, and hopefully I'm honoring them with my voice. I'm going to really quickly see if we can get around the block. Again, we saw nobody in the alley. When I went past there were 2 cars coming out. They were civilian. There was no indication at all that they were Scientology. I'm right now walking north. So the city's business district is 3 blocks ahead of me. We're in a small subset of Chicago called a neighborhood called Printers Row. Actually, it's called South Loop. Printers Row is even a smaller subset of South Loop. Scientology purchased the Artcraft building. In 2006, 2007. They had a concerted effort. You know, I think it's important even on those small, sorry, Emma, I thank you so much. I appreciate the positive statement. If I was in California and I was near that Los Gatos, I would still be out on that sidewalk and I would be giving them heck. And I know that they wouldn't do, they don't have sidewalk routers in California, right? California is a car community. That is a car space. Sorry, Hollywood definitely is a walking community. Los Gatos, Silicon Valley, those are places where the Scientology people are going to be driving into that location, similar to Denver. Howdy, Lady Jane out. Great to see you. We're heading over to Dearborn just to see if we can find any routers that are out here. Sorry, but if you can stand in front of even those small orgs and you catch the eye of a staff member, of a Sea Org person. Now remember, Sea Org bases are rather rare. You pretty much have to be in Clearwater or Hollywood or Denmark or one of the other continental capitals of Scientology to see the Sea Org. But if you can capture the eye of a Scientologist and make them question, what am I doing here? Why is there somebody outside protesting us? It's just that thing that it puts a seed in their mind, right? They all are human, right? That even though that they're drilled, right, against the bull baiting and they're drilled against the looking at parts of the internet, many of them have monitors on their computers that disallow them from seeing certain parts of the internet and certain words and keywords. They're still human. And just before they go to bed at night, they fall into that little space of, I'm thinking. And hopefully this is a thought that comes into their head every once in a while, right? Is the Danny Masterson story real? Is it true that none of the other orgs are thriving just like our org isn't thriving? Is it true that there's only 10, 15, 20,000 Scientologists worldwide? That's an easy math problem for orgs like this, right? So your org's supposed to have 300 people, right? Because you shouldn't have opened without having 150 on day and 150 on foundation. Do you have 300 people here? Look at your org chart, right? If you use the field, which includes all of the public, do you have 300 people? And if you don't have 300 people in the third largest city in America, what makes you think that there are 8 million worldwide? Folks, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about the woman that, right, we just talked to, who said they did look at the information. Now, again, they may have, they may not have. They might just say, yes, I did to placate me. But the idea that they've looked at that information and it didn't bother them. They still wanted to pursue Scientology further. We're coming past Roots Pizza. Roots Pizza has what they call Detroit style, or Quad City pizza. Oop. There's Tesla's new goofy pickup truck or Suburban. %, Lady Jane. I want to help, encourage anybody, help them with any questions they might have, help them understand what problems they might run into. And again, I'm just a guy who's been doing it for a little while. There have been people that have done it longer. Each org has a different persona, right? If you look at Denver, Kansas City, St. Louis, Greater Cincinnati, the people that go to the org, they drive to the org. So as somebody standing on the sidewalk, it's going to be hard to intercept people, right? In Hollywood, Yep, you can intercept people on the sidewalk. When we think about Clearwater, right, and this is because of the information that Aaron and others have shared with us, Clearwater is not a place where they take in new recruits. So that's not a place where there's body routing. It's a place where people are sent for training, whether it be higher upper OT levels or to become part of the Sea Org. So you kind of have to know what works here and what works there. If I was going to Boston, darn right I'd reach out to Cubs, right? Heading out to LA, yeah, talk with Confident Chris, Jessica, Eric the Raider, right, or Eric Raider. Now, again, I have a closer affinity towards the people who are really just doing the protesting, right? There's a lot of people that are protesting, and there's also an entertainment value. You know, no shade on them, but the idea that I love that you can tell Eric Raider's out there to stop Scientology, right? I'm not saying the other people aren't there to stop Scientology, but they're there, you know, that they've got a wider area of interests. They've got other fish to fry, as some people in the chat might understand. You know, Kelly's out there protesting the org, right? Love it. MD Media, Eric Raider. There's a new, Cubs has a new fan out there in Boston. Yeah, definitely want to talk about this for just a second, right? That almost everybody that is watching a channel on the SPTV network, we have potentially a false sense that everybody knows about Scientology. That's not true, right? Everybody doesn't know about Scientology. And even if they did know about Scientology and where Scientology is at, there are people that are like, oh, cool, it's a goofy church. Well, no big deal. Think about the people that, if they didn't know about Scientology, what would they know about the crimes that Scientology and Scientologists commit, right? So never, thank you, Corn, I really appreciate that.
So jealous.
Never assume that everybody's aware of the dangers of this organization, right? That I cannot tell you how many people I come across and they'll ask me, what are you doing here? Why do you care? Which is really an indication that says they don't understand the dangers of Scientology, right? I think that sorry, I kind of want to go. I need to, as I said, I only had a short time here today. I wanted to get over here. I want to close up the retail space, right? The idea that says if you're so ashamed of your church that you have to close up the front doors, that makes it much more difficult for a curious person to walk in there wondering why in the hell are the shades drawn here. So, howdy, MD. I want to get back to Queen Suki. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Really appreciate that. Again, as a member, you get the icons. That's really it. And you get to, I'll say, show pride in the idea that you like to support me. And I really appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I do not want to have any delayed or hidden content for members, right? I just don't like that idea. What I have to share is available to everybody. Unlike Scientology, I am not going to close up my blinds. And I do want to clarify something that I said earlier. I'm not casting shade on people who provide entertainment, because this is a tough subject, right? That the idea that you've got children being abused and having to listen to abusive confessions from members of this organization, And I do believe that in certain areas, they still are in the auditing rooms subject to physical abuse just as much as they're subject to mental abuse. Right? We do need the entertainment value out there. You know, I love that Korn, Juanita, other protesters here in Chicago, they do enjoy their time together. They do enjoy the social time. Up here we've got a Scientologist leaving the org. Notice the untucked shirt and back. Gold vest. Hey Dave, how are you today? I'm going to say, I find it odd that she chose to walk east. When she came up to the intersection, she was definitely going to go north. That is great to hear. And again, I want to say that I am not saying that we shouldn't have fun in what we're doing. You've seen me laugh out loud when I'm able to chase people back into the org. That when the body routers get stuffed in the alley, right, that they can't get out. It's very funny to me that they try to sneak around and they can't get past me. We're bringing awareness to the cult of Scientology, right? And we're helping people understand that this is a dangerous part of your community and you shouldn't tolerate it. And they are people who, they do perpetrate crimes, right? Can I tell you that there are child auditors in this building? No, I cannot. But can I tell you that this organization takes in money and sends money to Hollywood and sends money to Clearwater? Absolutely they do. And so they're supporting that child element down there. And I agree, you know, to Corn's point, yeah, we're not getting wild, right? When Nance is in jail and they're down there making up all of the bootology jokes and all of those elements, right? It's really to lighten the mood and let people know that, hey, yeah, this is a serious element, but we've got to keep on living, right? All right, folks, I think I've been pontificating too much. I did want to come by. We got the blinds shut. We didn't see anybody body routing today. I do think that they're probably away from the org. At lunchtime, I came over here. There was nobody at the org, and there was nobody in the central business district. You know, I probably walked a mile and a half at lunch today, and just never saw anything that came out of that. Yes, it did. And the bonding, right? The idea that not only do we agree that we want to take down Scientology, we also figured out that, hey, some of us actually enjoy one another's company, right? Is there a problem with that? Is there a problem that relationships have sprung up around people who are in the anti-Scientology movement? No, right? People start relationships in the workplace. People start relationships everywhere. As I do you, Corn. Folks, if you're up for a little bit of a lighter event today, this evening, probably in an hour or so, I'm going to meet up with one of my friends who's been a Chicagoan all of their life, and we're going to visit a couple of the stops on Chicago's Brown Line. The Brown Line is a line that comes through the loop. It does the lollipop, and then it heads out north and northwest. It goes from downtown Chicago to Kimball Avenue, and we're going to go. We'll concentrate on a few of the stops on the train station there, and tell you a little bit about the buildings that are there, tell you a little bit about the history of where these neighborhoods come from, the composition of these neighborhoods, the transition of these neighborhoods, over on Windy Wanders the City. Howdy, if Elron's in here, hi, yes, go sub to Elron. You know, I didn't mention him earlier. Elron, Z News, right? These are people who I think are incredibly mission focused, right? That it is in no way a challenge to understand. And by the way, I don't think it's hard to understand that any of us are against Scientology. I do know that, yes, we've had some drama and all of that stuff, and it's been distracting. But we did come together for the purpose. Oh, look at that. This is new. So this was just sitting here on the sidewalk. The body routers absolutely were out today. So we did see that. I also saw, this morning when I walked to work, up on Adams Street, I apologize, up on Lake Street, I also saw the Dianetics flyer. So, and it was on the ground as well. Folks, on, was it Monday? I really enjoyed that the Scientologist came out and asked to talk to me and said, hey, will you stop telling people this is a cult? And I really wish that I had taken a moment to think about what I answered. And it's like, prove to me it's not a cult, or explain to me how it's not a cult. But my immediate reaction was no, because it is a cult. So I'm not going to do that. And folks, yeah, let's make sure that we are, sorry, can we, you know, as I head down into the train station, can we make sure, you're going to possibly lose connectivity. So can we make sure that we're adding the links out to Corn Freak? Never in Nana. Never in Nana is just now restarting the channel, so make sure that we get over there and give her some subs. Juanita, who has a Spanish channel name, and she does a lot of her work in Spanish. Let me see when the next train is, real quick. So folks, if you're ever here in the city, you'll notice, oh, and I just missed it. So there's an O'Hare train in 4 minutes. That's going north, and a Forest Park, well, there's an O'Hare train that's due right now, and a Forest Park going the opposite direction in a couple of minutes. Sorry. But that's how you can tell where the trains are going. Sorry, Fuzzy, I should have given you a little bit more heads up on that. We've got a lot of people in here. Folks, when I suggest channels that I like to watch, I don't mean to say there's channels that I don't like to watch. Now, I will tell you there are channels I don't like to watch. Yeah, Annette, I haven't seen Trashy either. I just think that he might have moved on to different content. Or it's also that in the summertime, right, he's a car hound. It might just be that in the summertime, cars are an easier way for him to take up his time. This man is a liar. I'm a big fan of Declare Dave. Again, one of the things that, to remind you about Declare Dave, he's a never-in. He's been following Scientology since the days of Tom Cruise jumping around on the couch, on Oprah's couch. But he utilizes a lot of his strengths. He's been IT in the past, so he's a computer nerd. He's a library nerd. He knows how to acquire media. He knows how to catalog media. He knows how to read that media. And if you ever go on his channel, it's extremely educational. Now, on occasion, when they can, they'll go out and they'll do protests. They just don't live near an org as well as this. Keeping Fuzzy on her toes. So I would definitely encourage you to go do that. One of my favorite streams that Dave did was he had Mark Bunker on, and they talked for a couple of hours together. And I just thought it was a really educational element. And I think that Mark was incredibly impressed with how well Dave understood the subject matter and the quality of the questions and the quality of the interview. And interview is not fair. The conversation, right? And that's, you know, when Natalie and I talked, and when Marilyn and I talked, and when Nana the boss and I talked, I said, hey, I want this to be a conversation, right? That I'm curious about where you're coming from in this place as well. Excellent. Good to hear. All right, folks. Now I'm really going to head out. I need to get up to, I have some pet duty this evening. And I'm going to see you on the other channel if you're interested in touring Chicago. We're going to go see some of the northern neighborhoods on in Chicago's Brown Line. Right? Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. If there's any lives, are there any lives right now? Thank you, Drifter Shelley. All right, we're going to go see Eric Rader. Remember, he's one of those foot soldiers just out there so consistently. So I will see you over on Eric Rader's channel. Let him know I said hi. Thank you all.